My Line? Brought to you by the makers of Champion Spark Plugs, used by engine experts the world over. And now let's all play What's My Line? And now let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star who will appear later this month in a television special with Donald O'Connor, Miss Phyllis Newman.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here again, and now it's another pleasure to introduce a very talented and funny gentleman who opens September 13 at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas, Mr. Buddy Hackett.
Thank you very much. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a lady who I've had the pleasure of introducing many times, and she's a beautiful lady, and she opens on the 27th of September in dinner at 8 in New York City. She didn't tell me the theater, but you'll see a long crowd waiting to get into the restaurant. Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman that you've come to know very well as a television personality on Sunday nights. But between Sundays, he works very hard at being one of the most successful publishers in the world at Random House, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Thank you. Well, tomorrow, I'm reliably informed, is Labor Day, so it seems appropriate that our moderated night be a fellow who, man and boy, has never done a full day's labor in his entire life, John Charles Daly.
And very shortly hereafter, we'll be in color, and it's too bad it wasn't tonight, because when he said that, he was green with jealousy. Green. Buddy and Phyllis and Arlene and Bennett got some very interesting occupations for you tonight. I think we're going to have some fun with you. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before my friends on the panel a little bit later in the program, but let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Claudia. Beub. Right? Would you? So, is it Miss or Mrs.?
Yes.
Miss Beub?
Beub.
And Beub?
Mm-hmm.
And where are you from?
Modesto, California.
Modesto, California.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to have you with us. And may I, Miss Beub, say hello to our panel and introduce them to you? Now, will you join me over here, please? And we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell that Miss Beub is salaried and deals in a service. And in view of recent remarks made, we will put to work immediately Bennett Cerf.
Miss Beau, does the service that you perform use men and women in what you're doing?
Would you repeat that, Bennett? Use in what way?
Are human beings engaged in the service that you perform?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Are animals also engaged in the service you perform?
No. That's 1 down and 9 to go. Miss Newman.
Thank you. If I availed myself of your service, would I come to you?
Yes.
If I came to you, would you talk to me?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Hackett.
Do they ever have you allowed, I mean, no profession is barred on this show, like you're allowed to have strip teasers and all like that.
Within reasonable...
exotic dances, you could have that, right?
Yes, within reasonable confines of propriety, yes.
I'm not insinuating that this lady is an exotic dancer, you know.
Oh, no, I thought you
But
had
if she
some
wanted
relative
to
you wanted
learn,
to
I'd
make.
like to open up a school where you teach that. Do you do a lot of talking on the phone?
No.
And
No, that's
Look at
3
this, I
down
didn't
and
get a
7 to
chance.
go. Miss Francis.
For the most part, you don't do talking on your job, is that it?
No.
John, did you say that Miss Pugh is self-employed?
No, salary.
Salary. Do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes.
Does the organization have anything whatsoever to do with the entertainment world?
Yes.
Is it the picture business?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Pugh, do you do your service, for the most part, outdoors?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Is the entertainment involved in any manner athletic endeavor?
Yes.
Do you perform your service on land, not on water?
Mm-hmm.
You do. And there are no animals involved in the service at all.
No.
Do you engage in any sports activity yourself when you're performing your service?
You mean as
As a performer, as an
a
athlete,
performer,
as
player.
a member of a team or a contestant of some sort?
No. That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Newman.
Do you wear something other than what you're wearing now, or other than regular street clothes in what you do?
Yes.
Do people pay admission to see you do what you do?
Yes.
And when you do what you do other people do what you do at the same time? I can't even get the words out anymore.
I want to
I mean, when you're
congratulate you, Phyllis. I bet you can't do that again. Do what you do, what you do,
When you
do.
what you're doing, are there other ladies or gentlemen doing what you're doing at the same time?
Yes.
Yes. And are they all wearing something other than street clothes also?
Yes.
And do you ever, with these other people that you do what you do with, do they ever get on top, under, or in between, or something of each other?
No.
No, I don't think so. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Hackett.
do you use some type of machine or instrument?
No.
Are you in a machine?
Would you define instrument?
Well, it could be either, I don't mean specifically a musical instrument, but say a rake, a hoe, a plowshare, a zeppelin, a submarine, or some vehicle such as an aircraft like you would jump out of if you were skydiving or some sort of thing.
Sorry, buddy, you missed. 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
You are, however, engaged in some sport. Is that
Yes.
correct, Miss Pugh?
Mm-hmm.
And you do not use any vehicle of any kind in this
No.
sport.
No.
Does it require dexterity?
Not in such degree, quality, or quantity as to make it overriding in the performance of the service. 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you ever do your stuff at either a state fair or carnival?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Newman.
Now, I want to get back to this group of people. You and a group of people do something that people come and pay money to see. It has to do with sports or athletics. However, you don't have to have dexterity for it. Any special kind of dexterity? Is it something that is other than the sport itself? For example, is it cheerleading or anything in that neighborhood?
No.
Not really. I'll flip all the cards over because you're working so hard and I don't want you exhausted before the half hour is really underway.
play.
No,
No.
chess requires dexterity.
No,
Checkers.
no. What do I take a guess?
Parcheesi.
How would Batgirl for a baseball team do? Miss Field is with the Modesto Reds. That red hair is not an accident. That's why one of the reasons she was picked, a Class A farm team of the Kansas City Athletics.
They have a farm team?
They have a farm team, yeah. It's a new team, actually, and they play all their games at night. But I think one of the nicest things about it is that Miss Beebe is engaged to one of the players on the team, whom she met since she got on the job, and they're going to be married at
Home plate.
at home plate.
They went on a bat together.
Went on a bat together. Who is the lucky young man? Can we know that? Is it
He's Rich Bisek.
Rich Bisek? Where does he play?
He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher. Oh, you're going to have those long days out there in the backyard while he's steaming them in. But good luck to both of you, and you puzzle the panel, and that's a joy to do that all the time on What's My Line, and thank you for coming to see us.
Thank you.
Good luck to the Modesto Reds, I might add. We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this. And now to meet our next contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Don Hutchison. Right, sir? Mr. Hutchison, where are you from?
The state of Florida.
The state of Florida. Nice to have you with us. May I present our panel?
How do you do?
And now, if you'll join me over here, Mr. Hutchison, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we can tell you that Mr. Hutchison is self-employed and he deals in a product, and we'll begin things with Arlene Francis.
Is it a useful product, Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Is it a product that I might use?
Yes.
Is it ever found outside the home?
Yes.
In fact, if one were going to find it, would one be more likely to find it outside the home?
Either way, sometimes. Yeah, I would say that it would be very difficult to arrive at an exact figure. What we would like to convey to you is that it is found generally in the home and can be found broadly outside the home.
Is it larger than Mr. Allen's bread box, Mr. Hutchison?
Sometimes.
It comes in assorted sizes?
Oh, yes.
Is it now, or has it ever been alive?
Yes.
Is it in the animal world?
Yes.
Four-legged animals?
No. No. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Hutchison, is this animal ever slither?
No. No slitherer it. Nope. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Newman.
It's not a four-legged animal, but is this a product that's a result of an animal?
Yes.
Is it something that a woman... If I use this product, could I conceivably carry it with me?
Yes.
In fact, would I be likely to carry it with me?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Take your hands away from the cars. If I carried it with me on the subway, would people think it was odd that I was sitting on the subway with this on my lap?
No.
They wouldn't think it was odd.
I'm just sitting here. Mr. Hutchison is giving you much the better of it. I would just let me qualify it by saying that I think Mr. Hutchison is being very generous. If you were, under certain circumstances, to make it a... Well, let's say if you were to make it a regular thing to get on the subway and hold one of these in your lap, after a while they might take a scant look at you once in a while.
Would they be more likely to think it was strange if my husband held it on his lap?
No, I don't think it'd be any difference. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Hackett.
Well, in Florida, being such a saltwater state and famous so much for fishing, and then we define that this came more from the animal world. A fish would be part of the animal world, wouldn't it?
Yeah, by our broad definitions, yes.
Yeah, and a man in Florida, self-employed with a lot of fish, he might be a fish stuffer.
A fish stuffer?
Yeah. Are you a fisherdermist?
A fisherdermist? No, sorry. Nice try, buddy. 4 down and 6 to go, Arlene.
I have to clear something up because I didn't understand. I thought that we had already established that this animal, whatever it was alive.
Oh, no.
No.
It wasn't
No, I believe
alive.
the only
Once was
question that's
alive.
has been asked so far is, has it ever been or is it?
I see. So it is not alive anymore.
We have answered only the question, has it ever been or is it? Beyond that, the deponent saith naught.
But if Miss Newman were in the...
What's her name?
If Miss Newman were in the subway with it, and people would not be surprised, it certainly can't be alive.
Well, you know how blasé New Yorkers are.
You should see what I go on the subway with.
You're not taking me down the garden path, are you, John? Yes, you are.
No, just down one of the subways.
Well, all right, let's find out about the animal. He never had 4 legs, right? Does he have 2?
No. That's 5 down and 5 to go, Mr.
It's a
Cerf.
fish.
Well, is it the fish family that you're connected with then?
That's debatable.
Porpoise.
Debatable. That's debatable, and I would say no.
Well, now,
no. It's
a
lacking
fish
all-
family, that includes seals and includes porpoises and includes walruses. That's all a fish family.
Well, Bennett, you should have said that in the first place, but even if you had, it wouldn't have done you any good. It's still 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Newman.
I want to ask a question that I don't want to be penalized for. Do you consider alligators and crocodiles as having legs?
2 legs.
That's what I'm asking.
They
Don't
got
holler.
They got legs?
They're 4 legs.
They have legs. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's...
I'm going to give you 1 more minute.
Oh, is it something... Wait a minute. It's a fish? Did we say it's a fish?
We didn't say it was a fish.
Is it a fish of some kind?
No. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Hackett.
Is it a bird?
A boy?
Perhaps a cockatoo.
No, it's not a bird. It's not a bird.
Not a bird?
Not a bird. 8 down and 2 to go, Arlene.
Are you including crustaceans in this fish family?
Would you like us to?
I would just like to know what your answer has been about the fish. Is a crustacean included with the fish? It is it not?
Well, I think if you
All right.
broadly phrase it...
Is it a mammal, then?
Is it a mammal? No.
Mammal.
No mammal. No. 9 down and 1 to go, Mr.
Not a
Cerf.
mammal. No. You've been so humorous that I'm all confused, John. It's not a fish. We've established it is not a fish. Have we?
Right.
What?
Not a
It's
fish.
an animal, though.
And it is not a mammal.
Not a mammal.
It's
Right.
an animal with no legs. a
It's
snake.
an animal with no legs. No, it doesn't slither. I asked
No.
if it slithered. Is this fish ever?
We said it
able to
wasn't a
live
fish.
on the-
It's not a
what?
fish.
Not a fish.
Not a. Is this not a fish? Does this not a fish do
Now,
what?
wait a minute. It has no legs.
Has no legs.
Could it be in the octopus family?
Could it be in the octopus
Yes.
family?
That's a fish.
No. No octopi. No octopi.
Is it the result of any of those things?
Nope. Mr. Hutchison is a sponge diver.
Oh,
He is
Very
the captain, the owner, and the diver on the Catherine II. And, of course, one thing we thought you'd press us on is what town did he come from? Because it's Tarpon Springs, and that would have given too much
Big
away.
sponge.
You didn't
Was
ask,
sponges
happily.
alive?
Oh, yeah.
No. And it's sea animal with a porous structure, and as you know, tough, fibrous skeleton. Has a wide variety of uses, and one of them is to sit in the New York subway with one in your lap, if you are of that disposition.
it's a very good
That's very tough.
profession and very tough for us.
Haven't these sponges been very scarce lately? Haven't a lot of those sponge places been
Oh, they've been
ruined
washed
by
out.
pollution and whatnot, Mr.?
We have some pollution, but not too much. It's a lot of fresh water that hurts our sponges.
A lot of fresh water.
Fresh water from the rains, the hurricanes.
No.
They're not
Salt water is for sponges, huh?
strictly salt water, yes.
What are the most expensive kinds of sponges, the ones that are so expensive?
The Rock Island wool is our finest sponge, the most expensive sponge, and the expenses come from the process of getting them.
Have to go very deep?
Sometimes up to 100 feet.
Yeah.
They fight like anything.
Oh, they fight terrible.
You bite them and they bite you right back,
Oh, yeah.
right, Mr. Hudson? Thank you, sir. We stuck the panel with you two, and that's a joy. Nice to have you. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which the panel, as you all know, is always blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? As you will remember, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we'll begin things with Buddy Hackett.
Are you a girl?
One down and 9 to go. That was a no, Miss Francis.
Are you in the motion picture world?
That's a yes, Mr. Cerf.
Are you noted for doing anything besides being a motion picture star?
That's a yes, Miss Newman.
What?
That's a yes, Miss Newman.
That's a yes. Do you also appear on television?
That's a yes.
That's some yes.
Buddy Hackett.
Did you ever have a show on television that was canceled?
That's a yes, Miss Francis.
Are you known primarily as a comedian?
That's a yes, Mr. Cerf.
Did you ever work very closely with Dean Martin?
Nobody can work too close to Dean Martin.
Joey.
Oh, Joey Fisher! I'm afraid all was up and done the minute you said one word.
Well, Buddy, every time, when I was a guest, he was a mystery guest.
I was the mysterious guest, Victor.
And so he called me up that morning. When I take him to the airport, he had to be in Chicago. So I said, I can't take it to the airport. I'm doing What's My Line tonight. I'm a guest panelist on it. He said, but it's important for me to get to Chicago. No, he was the mystery guest. So I'm saying it sounds like Buddy, but he went to Chicago.
He took me to the airport. He said, why do I have to take you? I'll hire a limousine. Let the limousine take you. I'll pay for the limousine. I said, no, I want you to take me, Joe. I took you to the airport plenty of times. He left me at the airport. I took a cab back and came here. But I knew it was you tonight.
What? Do you know I asked permission back there. I said, if Buddy guesses that it's me, can I go over and hit him while he still has the mask on? I was so disappointed. The minute I'm in town, you know.
Yeah, but everybody took the trouble to say, did you see Joey before he left town? A lot of people told me that today, so I should think you left yesterday.
Shows you how dumb you are. I left yesterday. I came back today. It just goes to prove, if you were really brilliant, you never would have guessed who I was.
Well,
let me be a little stupid sometimes.
Let me say, you were really brilliant on substituting for Johnny Carson.
Thank you.
Well, then you always are. How did the picture go? Who's minding the mint? Is that what you've been making?
Yes, it's about 7 or 8 guys who decide to go into the mint and make $50,000 between the 8 of them. And then while they're there, they get greedy, and they make $1 million apiece. And everything is fine except one Italian fella in the picture who's a lookout, who's just come from Italy, and in his particular village in Italy, all the police wear white uniforms. So when he sees the street cleaners, he puts his hands against the wall and gives them the money. I do hope you will see, it's coming out rather quickly, and I think Dean is magnificent. Texas across the river. I play Dean's Indian friend.
Well, I must say, laugh's a precious thing these days, and we will. Thank you.
I always love doing it, but I especially love doing the show tonight because I've been trying to get a hold of Buddy for a week. When they told me he was a guest, I decided to come down and be the mystery guest.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you for coming to see us. Nice to have you. Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight, panel, so we'll score you A on that anyway, and we'll all be back after this word. We've had a lot of fun tonight, Buddy and Phyllis. Thanks for being with us, and good night, Miss Phyllis Newman.
Good night. Good night, Buddy.
Good night. Good night, Arlene.
Good night, dear boy. Good night, Bennett.
Don't labor too hard tomorrow, John.
That I won't. And remember, next week we're going to be in color. Just think of looking at Bennett in color. There's one sad thing, though. We're going to be moving to another theater, another studio set up, and we're going to lose our stage staff who've made life so pleasant and wonderful for all of us for about 5 or 6 years. We're going to miss them, but we hope to catch up with one another pretty soon. And thanks to all of you for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS Television Network production in association with Mark Woodson and Bill Cotter. This is Johnny Olson speaking. Tonight's program is pre-recorded.